Welcome back, everyone. When we left, we saw our adventurers finally all back together in the room. During the break, Gunza returned to his normal, huge ogre size. They healed up their wounded, and everyone gathered around an owl to inspect the bracers he found in the lake.
And it looks like Duarte retrieved his giant crossbow.
But that's not all. Old Eagle Eyes over here next to me, Zedabo, noticed that the rubble from the destroyed statues was moving. He guessed that they were reforming, and now it looks like he was right. We have cameras around each group of statues now to see their progress. The fire statues have clearly reformed feet and legs, and our team has finally taken notice.
That's right, Sam. We have what I can only describe as animated rubble rolling around the room and hallways. The statues are rebuilding themselves, and the party is starting to panic.
They've stopped examining the bracers, and they're talking about what to do.
We have the goods. Let's get out of here before they finish.
Why worry?
They are really nasty, my man.
But you beat them before without us. Now that we are here and we are all together, we should have no problem.
No, trust me. We don't want to fight them again.
Plus, what makes you think they won't just reform again? You want to keep fighting these things all day? Let's get out of here, then ID these things. We came in from that hallway. There's a door at the end of each other hall. Anyone care which one we take?
Good point. That way, let's turn.
Okay, that way it is.
Well, Zedabo, it looks like the party has decided to beat a hasty retreat and move along out of this room.
I think Duarte had a good point that even if they do beat the statues a second time, they will probably just reform again. They don't know how, or even if they can keep them down.
So they're heading down the hallway. Looks like they're in a bit of a hurry, too.
Yeah, Sam. They didn't bother to get into any marching order. They must be more worried about those statues than any possible traps that may be in the hallways.
We have Duarte out in front in a nice trot, followed by the twins, then Gunza and Elaine taking up the rear, watching behind them. They are heading down the hallway across from the entry point where the ice statues were originally standing. There isn't any rubble down that hallway, and they make their way without any trouble.
Nice rhyme, Sam. And I agree with Enola. It was a good idea to go down one of the cleaner hallways and get out as quickly as they can.
They reach the end of the hallway without any incident and stop to check the door.
I don't see anything. Let's get out of here.
Enola pulls on the large door made out of the same stone as the rest of the room. While it looks heavy, it opens easily. He holds the door for the rest of the party. Once they're all through, he follows and pulls the door closed behind them. They find themselves in a hallway very similar to the one they just left.
Remember, everyone, we didn't see anything about this level beyond the first room. This hall could lead to just about anything.
The construction of this hallway looks exactly the same, 40 by 40 with columns on the right and left. The members of the party look around. They seem a little confused.
The designers gave them nothing to go on here, Sam. By keeping the architecture exactly the same, they really don't have anything to base their next move on. Well, let's go.
And off we go again. Gunza starts marching down the hallway, and the team fans out in the same order they were in when they first entered. Gunza in the middle, one of the twins on the left with Duarte, and the other on the right with Elaine. They get about halfway down, and the party slows.
I hear water.
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
What is it?
We're in the same mother-ducking room.
What? How can you be sure?
That's the sound of the waterfall in the middle of the room. And look, there's some rubble.
Well, that would explain why the architecture is exactly the same, Zedabo. They're in the same room.
Ha ha ha! The dive designers caught us all looking there, Sam. The door didn't leave the room, but teleported them to one of the other hallways. There's a couple of ways this can go, Sam. Either all doors will teleport them back, or one door will be real, while the others are false. Let's see how the party decides to tackle this challenge.
So, what do we do?
Well, there's a couple of ways this can go. Either all doors will teleport us back, or one door will be real and the others are false.
Hey, I just said that.
Another possibility is that we need to do something to turn off the teleport traps and open the doors.
Watch out, Zedabo. He may be coming for your job after this.
Watch yourself.
Did anyone notice anything about the statues? Something that may suggest how we solve this?
Not me. I was watching the lake most of the time.
They sing.
Their mallets don't work in our hands.
You picked up one of their mallets?
Yeah.
That might not be it directly, but maybe you're onto something. The magic of the mallets is linked to the statues, and they woke up when the knoll was down in the lake. What did you see down there?
Room just like this, but smaller. In middle, 4 tables, each with bracer.
There were 4 what?
Tables?
Pedestals, and each one has a single bracer on top of it. Each also had a symbol on it. The first one was a golden lightning bolt, then a red fireball, a blue snowflake, and finally a white symbol of life.
Ah!
This is a great conversation going on here, Sam. We're seeing the party think back on everything and try to piece together this puzzle.
What?
Those symbols match the magic abilities of the statues. The lightning ones woke up first. When you grabbed those bracers, it activated the statues.
Let's have a closer look at those.
The knoll swings his bag around to his front and opens it. He pulls out each of the bracers one at a time. He hands them to the members of the party to examine.
As we expected, each has the same symbol on it. Anyone have an ID? I can examine their structure, but I won't see any magic abilities they may have.
Affirmative. I will reveal their endowment.
The party all hands the bracers to Elaine, and she holds them up to her golden mask. I still don't see how she can see anything through that. It's solid metal. She's just standing there holding them. Maybe she can't see them.
Oh, she can see them, Sam. She's examining their abilities. It's taking a little while, though. They could have multiple abilities.
She moved. Looks like she's going to disclose what she found.
Quite compelling, Anol. Indeed, they do represent their respective mystical energies. Each empowers its owner with some protection from the element and execution of an energy bolt spell cast at level 3.
The party looks interested, nodding their heads.
Hold. The compelling measure occurs when you combine 2 bracers on the same entity. The elements synergize to achieve an effect that ranges from double to quadruple in power.
Whoa.
You got that right.
Combine fire with life to create holy sunfire, or healing.
That sounds wicked, Zetapo.
Yeah, those sound very interesting. You can combine 2 of the 4 elements to create another energy type with a much stronger effect. That gives them 4 individual elements plus 6 additional super combinations. Very versatile, Sam.
Combine fire with ice to conjure a water elemental or divine food and drink.
Oh good, I'm starving.
Use against statues?
It doesn't look like the option is available. The energy of the statues is one with the energy in these. It will not affect them.
Oh, that's interesting, Sam. The bracers cannot be used against the statues. They share a common energy source. The adventurers are going to have to keep fighting them the old-fashioned way.
That's daging bulpo.
I thought he couldn't speak common very well.
He knows the swear words.
Okay, so we know the bracers, statues, and pedestals are all linked. That has to be the key to opening this room. Any ideas?
Shouldn't we at least try the other doors before we give up on them?
I guess it can't hurt.
I recommend we divide up. Visit them simultaneously.
Well, we have this one that we just came through, the door we started with, and then the one across from this one. I'm the fastest, so I'll go to the one we started in.
Anol and I will take the one across from here.
Excellent and admirable plan. We'll meet back here. Mother be with you.
Well, it looks like our team has figured out how to communicate and plan. They're making good progress. Maybe they'll decide to stay together as a party after this.
I'd sure love to see more action from this group, and I'll bet our audience would too. Off they go, each to check their respective doors to see if one will actually exit this room.
My money's on no, Sam. Duarte was on the right track. They just came through a door that was a trap, so that takes both of those out of play. There's no way the entry door will be an exit, so that leaves only one left that could possibly be an exit. The probability that it will be that easy? 0, Sam.
I agree, Zetapo.
It's a good idea to verify, and that's all they're really doing. I don't think anyone really believes there's an exit out of this room right now.
Duarte is in a full gallop and has almost made it to his doorway. The twins hesitated for a moment when they saw the rebuilding statues, but are also most of the way down their hallway now.
Look at the statues, Sam. They're halfway reformed now. We'll get back to some action soon, and the party doesn't have an endgame for this room yet.
Elaine and Gunza casually make their way to the door in the hallway where the team was just meeting. Elaine opens the door and offers it to Gunza. He steps in and disappears. He pops out at the entrance, just in time to see Duarte running up.
Whoa, how'd you get here?
I ran here. How'd you get here?
I walked through the door at the end of the hall.
And there's Elaine. We have all three of them together at the entrance again.
Ah, okay. I was wondering if it was random, but it looks like each door sends you to the hallway next to it, rotating counterclockwise. They first went down the hallway guarded by the ice statues, which ported them to the hallway guarded by the lightning statues. That door then ported them to the entrance, which was originally guarded by the life statues. So, if they go back through the entrance, they should end up in the hallway guarded by the fire statues, which is where the twins are right now.
It looks like they're going to try it out, said Bo. Elaine opens the door, and Gunza steps in again. Meanwhile, Anella is holding open the door for her brother, who also steps in. Anole disappears just as Gunza steps out into the hallway with her.
And there's Anole on camera 4, down the hallway originally guarded by the ice statues.
It looks like you were right, said Bo.
What? What are you doing here?
And there come Elaine and Duarte to join Gunza and a confused Anella.
They teleport in order. Your brother is down the hallway over there.
And Anole is by himself again. Looks like he's waiting to see if his sister comes through. And not only does she come through, but the entire party comes with her. Anole looks shocked.
What the?
So we have the whole group back together again in the hallway originally guarded by the ice statues.
That's the same hallway that they tried first. So Gunza and Elaine have done a full circle of the teleport traps.
Do they get an achievement badge for that? They should.
Yeah, I agree.
Cameras 1 and 2 are in this hallway with the team, while the rest are in the main room watching the progress of the statues.
The fire statues are almost complete, and the others aren't far behind, Sam. It looks like our team won't get out of here without another encounter with them.
Okay, so we've cleared all the doors. What next? Elaine, did you see anything else that might give us a clue?
Nay.
We need to piece this together before we fight those statues again. We used up a lot of our resources last time, and we can't afford to do this all day.
Well, Sam, it seems that Duarte has emerged as a leader of this group. His vast experience as an adventurer is helping him guide the team, and it seems they respect that.
But what about the statues?
Their eyes glowed with a color that matched the type of magic they used. Gunza, did you notice anything about the mallet you took off one of them?
No, it was just a regular mallet to me. It did not have a magic effect when I used it.
The focus of their magic must be whatever is behind their eyes.
Gunza is smiling, said Bo.
It looks like you figured something out.
What is it?
The focus isn't them. The focus is these bracers. Everything in this room is designed to keep them in here. Even the room itself won't let them out.
So the power of these statues comes from these bracers?
These bracers are the power source for everything in this room. That's why everything is designed around keeping them in.
So how does that help us? We still need to get them out.
You guys need to read more. This is the first axiom of planes. To move between planes, you move between planes.
Ah.
Yes, you see.
You have truly been touched by the wisdom of Mother Goddess, Barbarian.
Can you help out the rest of us here?
To remove the bracers from the room, we have to remove the bracers from the room.
Okay, forgive me for being a little dense here, but that doesn't really help. How exactly do we do that?
How do we get them out of this room?
All in roof.
Huh. I didn't even think of that.
You mean we have to fly up to the hole where the waterfall is coming in?
Well, I suppose that could work. But it will just take us to level 4. To get to level 6, we need to use these doors.
But we tried them. They just teleport us to another part of the room.
Yes. But how does teleport work?
When we teleport, we aren't actually in the room.
Exactly.
But again, we did that.
Yes. But we went one at a time.
While the team is figuring out the way out of the room, we have some movement in the main hall. The fire statues have fully reconstituted, and they are heading right for the hallway where our team is deliberating.
They must be tuned to those bracers, Sam. If the adventurers are right, and the bracers are the power source that runs the magic in these statues, they can feel it and are drawn to it.
We have to take them all through at once? That's easy. Just put them back in the bag and off we go.
Nah, I wish. What did you notice when we went through the gates?
Not much, just a little tingle.
And bitter taste.
Each gate felt different, like it was powered by the elemental energy of the statues that guard it.
Right. Elaine and I are the only two who went through each gate, and they each had a different feeling. And you're right, Enold, a slightly different taste. Each gate uses the power from these bracers to work.
So each bracer has to go through the gate that it powers to temporarily shut it down?
I wager that's correct. But also, if we do them all together at precisely the same time, only then will the room shut down and show us the exit.
Pooh. That means we have to get across this room, separate to the 4 gates, and all walk through simultaneously.
This is great, guys, but we have company.
And with that, the game is back on. We have 2 fire statues coming down the hallway towards them. One of them turns around and slams its mallet on the ground. A giant wall of flame springs up and fills the entrance to the main room. They've trapped the team in this hallway.
Duck, me.
The group is gathered together at the end of the hall, with the twins closest to the statues.
Out through the gate. That will take us to the next hallway over, buy us some time.
Good idea. Let's go, everyone.
The team quickly makes their way out through the door and reappear in the lightning hallway.
Okay, who has which bracer? I have the fire one.
Life and ice.
Lightning.
While the team is figuring out their next move, the fire statues have turned around and are back in the main room. The lightning statues are now back together and have also entered the main room.
Okay, so we're going to get separated while we do this, so we have to be quick. If not, we're going to be one-on-one with these statues, and none of us wants that.
Agreed.
We need to get across this room. Shouldn't we do that as a group?
No need. We can use the gates to each get to the right one.
Good idea. So that just leaves the timing. How do we all hit the portals simultaneously?
Yeah, that's a bit more tricky. We'll need a signal, and it has to be in the middle room so that we all see and hear it at the same time.
Elaine, you stay here. Swap your ice bracer with the twins and give me the life one. Here, Gunza, you take the fire one. Now the rest of us will go through and drop off one at a time until we're all spread out.
Fire statues.
The fire statues are making their way down the lightning hallway toward the team again.
They need to hurry up here, Sam, or they're going to leave Elaine here all alone against those 2 fire statues.
Okay, now we need to move. It looks like those things are drawn to the energy of the bracers. That's good. Once we separate, it may confuse them. I'll go first and run out to the middle. I'll set a delayed fireball to go off in 1 minute.
You have fireballs?
On my bolts. But that's not important right now. Elaine, keep this door open. We're leaving you here. Can you hold out against those 2 for 1 minute?
If it's the mother's will.
Okay, good luck everyone. Open your doors, and when you see the fireball go off, you go in.
So off the team goes. Duarte goes first. He has the life bracer. He makes a jump to the entrance and then starts to gallop down the hallway. The twins follow him and then quickly make 2 more jumps to end up at the ice gate. Finally, Gunza makes the 2 jumps to be at the fire gate.
Those fire statues are almost up to Elaine already, Sam. She's in some trouble here.
Elaine takes the flail handle out from behind her shield and jams it under the door. She then moves out a few feet and slams her shield down on the ground. We saw this before, Zedabo.
Yes, she used this move to create a force field. Last time she crouched down. This time, she's standing straight up with her arms spread out.
The statues lift up their mallets as they close in on her, and then stop dead in mid-step, Zedabo.
It looks like her force field is filling the hallway, Sam, like a wall.
The statues back up and then take a swing at the invisible wall of force. Wow! What an explosion! The mallet hit the wall and let off an enormous burst of flame. We only saw that once before when they were fighting Gunza. I'd forgotten how powerful they are. Now the second statue is taking a swing, and another giant explosion!
Oh no, Sam, this is a problem. The cue that the team set up to walk through the gates is a fireball in the middle of the room. There's no way she can tell when the fireball goes off, with these statues setting off similar effects blasting through that force field.
Speaking of that, it looks like Duarte has set his fireball and is headed back to the end of his hallway. Gunza and the twins are in their respective hallways with the doors open, waiting for the signal.
The twins are holding hands, too. That's a good idea, Sam. They will enter the gate together as one entity.
Elaine is having some trouble seeing into the main room, said Bo. The statues are pounding away at her force field, constantly filling the hallway with fire.
She's going to have to drop that force field, Sam, if she wants to see the signal.
Time is running out, said Bo. She needs to do something. Meanwhile, the statues are pounding away, making a heck of a racket.
15 seconds, Sam. We started the timer. Set the fire.
That's why this is the best team in the business, said Bo.
10 seconds.
Elaine runs out and grabs the shield. The force field is down. The statues stumble a bit, swinging at the air.
5 seconds.
She slings her shield, hits one in the chest.
4.
It bounces off, hits the other in the head.
3.
It ricochets off a pillar and is on its way back to Elaine.
2.
She turns and runs back to the door and grabs the flail.
1.
There's the signal. A huge fireball goes off in the middle of the room. Duarte steps into his doorway. Gunza steps into his doorway. The twins, holding hands, step in together. Elaine dives forward into the portal, reaches out behind her, and grabs her shield as she goes through.
Did it work?
The room is dark, said Bo. I can't tell.
I don't think they're in the room anymore, Sam.
I can see some mist now, said Bo. Gunza, Duarte, and the twins are standing there. Elaine does a diving roll across the ground and pops up next to the team.
I've never seen anyone in full plate be so acrobatic, Sam. It was a great move to throw her shield at the statues as she ran for the door. That disrupted their attacks and allowed her to see the signal. Perfect timing.
The team is now together again, and it looks like they made it to level 6. They are standing on a grassy hill. There's a layer of mist on the ground, pooling in the valleys of this rolling landscape. The sky is gray, filled with clouds. It looks like dusk.
Smells like
Death.
Ah, hell no.
Well, folks, as you may have guessed, that's the end of tonight's episode. What a thrill ride they took us through in that first level, and they all made it out okay. Looking at their sheets, however, we can see that they did use up quite a lot of their magic energy and special skills. Remember, they can't take a full rest to recover, and they still have 2 levels to go. Make sure to come back for the next episode to see how they tackle their next challenge. Have a great night. We'll see you back here soon.
Are you tired of the same old home-cooked trash for dinner? Salad? Bleh. Gross! Beans? Yuck. As if. Who wants any of that?
I know I don't.
You know what you want?
What's that?
Come on down to the Tuscan Snout Barbecue Restaurant and get all your favorites fresh off the grill. We got barbecue pork butt.
Smoky.
We got barbecue weasel snout. You only eat 4 or 5 times a day, you might as well enjoy it. Tuscan Snout Barbecue. Come in today! Also, try out our You Catch It, We Grill It plan.